Good morning everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. So we are still sideways, potentially bottom of a range. There's a lot of support here, and this is basically that inverse head and shoulders neckline again. It's coming back for the second test. Oscillator is pointing down at the moment. Nothing really bullish or bearish there at the moment. It is indicating a move down. We are moving down, but anything can happen now. We could cross over while they're far apart, which would then give us a move back to the upside. So we do have a fairly strong trend line here. I'll take it right here, which coincides with this level here. So I would suspect you'd find buyers coming in here trying to force this into a bigger range. So looking at the oscillators, you can see we pretty much grouped the downside. Bit of divergence brewing if you draw from there to there. And you look at price, so obviously we need to see price bounce in this exact area, and this is a fairly strong area of support here at 1430, 320. So I'm kind of still of the opinion we are sit on hand. So there is a head and shoulders here, I pointed out yesterday, which is this level here. So if we do pull back up to here, which does look like it's possible, and we reject this area, which is 14,464, then I would expect us to move back down into 14,320, 14,300 area. That's the one scenario. But the other scenario is, we could just bounce off here and bounce to the top here, which is basically forming a range. So there's nothing really concrete which is indicating anything at the moment. For me, everything is pretty much sideways. You can see we were hovering up in the top of the range here, and then we got the sell-off. No real pullback to indicate an opportunity to buy, and then we just continue to the downside. So this is the area I'd be paying attention to, 14,464. If we do reject this area with some price action, I would be tempted, because you're probably going to get a 60-point stop loss for a little bit more than 100. So you probably get a, let's say, 50, 60, 70 point stop loss for a 120 point move. So you should get a 2-to-1 trade if that does play out. So that's the only trade that I can see at the moment here is that bounce. If this gives way and we start finding support here, then I'd expect us to come and tag the top here. But looking at the daily, you can see it's rejecting the 155, and then if you look at the other moving averages, they haven't crossed over, they are pointing up. Look at the oscillators. So it's looking more likely that we're going to have a break of this trend line, break and retest of 14,320 for a move down, and that move down could probably be held up by a number of areas. So there's a pretty strong area of support right here, and that would be at 14,027, and I'd say 1400 would probably be the area that we'd be aiming for. So until we start getting some structure breaks to the downside, I'm not really keen on jumping in. So this is the first bit of structure that could be, which is here at 14,464. So retest of that area would, a decent retest that area with price action would get me short, but I'd be paying attention to, I'd more than likely take profit here at 14,320 and wait to see if we break this area and retest. Then I'd be looking at 1400 as a target to the downside. Longs are only going to come into play once we start breaking above this high of yesterday, which is 14,612. Anyway, that's kind of the messy trades that we've got today. Nothing really concrete. A lot of sideways price action here, which I think is going to continue into the close of the week. Probably end up with some kind of a range bar on the weekly. Anyway, that's it for me today. I hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.